Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Well, here's our weather setup for today because it's a bit complex given that we've been transitioning out of spring-like feels to more of the wintry precip. And so we're going to continue that same kind of effect for today. We have the low pressure system up into northern lower Michigan, and we're going to have colder air wrapping around that. But you have that attached occluded front, so moisture is aiding in kind of that mixed precipitation from portions of Ontario up into the northeast. But for us, as we get a blast of some cooler air, we could see some snowflakes mixing in. As I mentioned, it's the colder air around that low that's bringing snow to the upper Midwest, a bit more prominent up into the UP, west of Lake Michigan and on the west side of our state. But I'm not ruling out some snow showers as the day rolls on because temperatures are falling. And so our high today, late morning and then afternoon, we're in the 30s. And so for the rest of the day, those 30s are even a little misleading because it'll feel like it's cooler with the wind chill. So I'm not ruling out a rain snow mix throughout the afternoon and maybe even just some wet snowflakes. We'll look at that in a moment. We need to talk about the winds first because we do have a wind advisory. So the future winds will show that by about 2 o'clock this afternoon is when we start to get the peak wind gusts, 45 miles per hour, and those last well into the evening. Now, once this expires, we still will have breezy conditions by 10 p.m. Those wind gusts exceeding 30, if not upward of 35 miles per hour. So the temperature versus wind chill for today, as we hover right around the freezing mark or just above it through the afternoon, we're going to feel about 10 degrees cooler with the whipping wind, so it'll feel more like 20s. And that's a drastic difference from some of the 60s we experienced just about 48 hours ago. So clouds and radar forecast, let's walk you through as we've had the rain through the morning, transitioning to snow chances by the afternoon. I would say 1 o'clock or 2, we'll have a few wet snowflakes, but the mixture will persist late this evening through the thumb region. Most of the snow stays north of here as we head into your Saturday, but then that does begin to sink farther south. We'll have a better shot at some snow even before daybreak Sunday and scattered bands coming off the lakes come Sunday. So when the weekend is all said and done, how much snow are we talking? Well, I think lesser amounts to our south, probably about 1/2 of an inch to an inch, and maybe in that 1 to 2 inch range north of I-69. So closer to about 1 inch in some spots of some accumulation. I mean, we just got all that cleared out of here, and then we're going to add some of that at the surface. But the weekend ahead is still rather seasonal for this time of year. We do fall below average early next week with highs around freezing, even an overnight low in the teens. But we rebound nicely midweek as we will be back in the 40s at the tail end of the 7-day forecast.